Hi, I'm Rianne, my husband's nemesis, and we are RN Homesteading. Today we are going to make elderberry syrup. I have here 2 cups of fresh elderberries that we picked off of our plants. We went through and we removed, you have to make sure there is no stems or leaves because those are toxic. And any berries that are red you want to remove because they're not fully ripened and it'll make everything more bitter than it should be. So I'm going to just put these into a saucepan. And then we need 4 cups of filtered water. Okay, we are also going to add in, this is optional, but I have a 1-inch section of ginger that's been peeled and chopped that I'm putting in. Ginger has a lot of healing properties to it. It is anti-inflammatory. It helps your digestion. So elderberry syrup is used very much for if you're starting to get a cold or possibly the flu starting to come on. If you take the syrup every 2 to 3 hours, it can help lessen the length of time that you'll have it. Some people just take a spoonful daily as a preventative to keep their immune system going. I'm also going to add a cinnamon stick. And cinnamon helps to regulate blood sugar. Ginger can help with that too. Plus it tastes good. I think I'm going to add this later. It says that we can add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I don't want to boil off all the flavoring. So I also have raw honey here. You're supposed to sweeten it to taste with the raw honey. You'll need to let it cool down because if you overheat your raw honey, you're going to kill off all the benefits that come from raw honey. So I need a spoon. So now we're just going to wait for it to come to a boil.
1 eternity later.
Okay, so we now have it boiling. While I was waiting for it to get to this point, I was occasionally stirring it. And I'm trying to make sure I can't fully stir that boil down super easy. You want it to return to a boil very quickly after you stir it. Ooh, that cinnamon smells great. All right, now I'm decreasing my flame to a simmer. And you want it low enough that you're just seeing a few bubbles coming to the top. And what we're doing now is we're reducing the quantity of the volume of the liquid. We want to reduce it by half. This should take about 30 minutes, maybe longer. If it seems to be reducing too quickly, you can place a lid on, but you need to only cover it halfway. Look at how purple it's turning. In our next step, we're going to need a potato masher. So I'm going to get that out.
Much later.
Okay, so it's actually been about 28 minutes. I did have to adjust the flame up and down just so a simmer is whenever you see just little bubbles continuously coming to the top, but it's not fully boiling and you see the steam rising. I had it too low at first and it stopped bubbling, so I had to turn up the heat. Now, if you look, we have this nice deep purple color. And our berries have really changed color. So I have my heat off, and I do need to find my cinnamon stick because I could feel it getting in my way. Look at that, a purple cinnamon stick. Okay. So now we're going to mash the berries. This is just because we want to get every little bit of that good juice out of them.
How come you don't do that at the beginning?
Because they're not cooked enough to extract all the juice. Also, we know that these are American elderberry, but the European elderberries have way more of a cyanide content. The cooking process kills that off. So if you're not 100% sure because you went out and foraged looking for elderberries, and you don't know 100% if they're the true American elderberry plant, you definitely want to cook to destroy off all of that cyanide. Okay, I need to figure out what am I going to. So I have a fine mesh sieve here.
Two minutes later.
Now you can also do this with the cheesecloth, and some people will stretch a cheesecloth over this so that they can pick it up and squeeze the cheesecloth to get every little bit of juice. I'm trying not to crush the ginger too much. But the ginger turned a pretty pink color, sort of purpley pink. Elderberries are also very good for your chickens. They help to prevent the bird flu. It strengthens their immune systems against it.
Per YouTube guidelines, we are not animal veterinarians. We do not know anything. We are YouTubers.
Yeah. This is just stuff we've heard on YouTube. So now we have this nice, beautiful purple. Well, it's kind of hard to tell in a purple bowl, but look at how pretty that is. Now we need to let this cool down to where it's slightly less than warm. You want it to be a little warm because you want the honey to dissolve in it, but you definitely don't want it this hot because you don't want to destroy your properties, that the benefits that you get from raw honey. Okay. All right, we'll be back when this is cooled down.
1 hour later.
Okay, so now our elderberry juice has cooled down. And this is a 16 ounce, so 1 cup is 8 ounces, so I'm going to use about half. As you can see, the honey's starting to crystallize. That does not mean that it's bad. Whenever it's warmed up, that crystallization goes away. And you're also doing this to taste. So I'm going to do a little bit less. I can feel the thickness of the honey as I'm stirring. I may need Nemesis to taste this because I've been avoiding sugar, so it may taste a lot sweeter to me than what it would normally. It's sweet to me, but I don't know what you would think. I can definitely taste the cinnamon.
Not bad.
I forgot to put the vanilla in.
That's actually not bad.
Let's say cinnamon and vanilla go awesome together.
How much did you put in?
A teaspoon.
Okay, I didn't hear you say that. I just want to make sure they knew what you were putting in.
Yeah. We got little purple splotches all over the stove. A little different. Let me know if you think it needs more sweetness. Or you think it's fine?
Can use a little sweet.
A little
kick.
bit more.
Yeah.
And I hadn't quite put the full cup in. So. Now I would suggest if you have a local honey source, there's a lot of benefit to using your local honey because the pollen that the bees have collected help to add to increasing your immune system against allergies of those flowers and weeds. Running out of spoons. Oh God, is that sweet?
It's almost perfect. Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay, so I have some jars that I have sterilized. This is good for 2 months in the refrigerator, but we are also going to put some aside and freeze it because we don't plan on taking this on a daily basis. A Although they do suggest putting it into ice cube trays, which might be a better idea than trying to freeze it in the glass. I think we might do that. Because then, once it's in ice cubes, I can put it in a baggie. And we can unthaw a few cubes. That sounds like a good idea. Okay. So, you don't need a mason jar if you're going to put something in the fridge. I just have a old empty jar that I saved. And how am I going to do this without making a mess? Do we have a bulb syringe? I think it's in the top.
In the top?
Yeah.
I have to move this over. Sorry guys, gotta move you over. I got a bowl. And as I throw it on the ground. Sorry, I just made you have to rinse it. Butterfingers.
Just as a side note, if you're ever using a bulb syringe and the stuff that you're drawing up is very hot, it will try to shoot out at you, just as a warning. So I am filling an ice cube tray with our elderberry syrup. Whoops. Because that will allow me to place it into a bag in the freezer and just in smaller dosages. So that way I won't have to unthaw everything all at the same exact time.
And in this form too, it'll allow you to give it to your friends and family too. And send them home with a medicine package.
Okay. All right. So that's our first adventure in making elderberry syrup. I honestly would like to try it one time without any of the additives, just the elderberries and the honey, to just get a taste of what it would be like plain. But the cinnamon and the vanilla together is a very good combination.
And the ginger's not too spicy.
Yeah, I honestly didn't really pick up any ginger flavor. Did you?
Nope.
No, not really. I think the cinnamon was strong enough to overpower it. Anyway, thank you for spending time with us today. And again, I'm Rianne. I'm with RN Homesteading. And may your thumbs always be green.